Shalom, family. Glory be to God. Blessed be the Lamb. You know, I said earlier that we were going to talk about battle assessment, a situational report, an enemy assessment. And we're going to get to that. But, you have to understand where you live, that everything is a lie, all of it. I mean, I would never have imagined that Satan felt the actual need to turn everything in reverse and lie about everything. I would have never guessed that he felt that kind of need, that he felt he had that type of vulnerability, that no kind of truth can be allowed. None. No, nothing that actually causes one to care about you or love you can be allowed. Most of us, they have, when I say they, I'm talking about those that are not us. They have us on, it, it's like script playing. Man, I can honestly say at 61, as a black man, I've never known happiness. I have so not known it that, man, it doesn't even register as a positive or the lack thereof as a negative. It's just never been. It's just never been. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but I ain't never knew no damn happiness. And there's not a real need that I know happiness. Not really. It's just not. I know what I know. When you birth a man and what you birth a man in and it is devoid of happiness, don't expect him to go searching for no fucking happiness. Expect for him to go searching for what he already knows. And it won't be happiness. It won't be happiness. It doesn't exist. Anyway, the powers that be exercise raw power. Raw power. I would like to tell them something about power. It's funny how when I was 16 years old, I had power. But know what I was lacking? Knowledge to go with the power. Once I got the knowledge to go with the power, it still wasn't enough to be real power, because you have to have wisdom to use the knowledge that you have gained about the machine. Without wisdom, knowledge is useful. I mean, it's useless without wisdom. They go hand in hand. And then finally, when that was enough, at that stage, it scared me because I was in my 50s and I knew how powerful I was, and without any understanding. And then God gave me purpose. That changed everything. Do you see how it came in order? In order. But purpose was the final stop, the final piece of the puzzle. The rest of society exercises power, and there's two types of power. It's that power that those lofty and wealthy and powerful men confer upon each other, power and authority. Then there is the power of the poor and the downtrodden. It's a different kind of power. We can all accept that now, can we? We can accept that now because it's happening in real time. Am I rich? Okay, I live my life day for day. I don't have any investments. but I, but the strange thing is, I would not be who I am if I was a part of the world. I had to leave the world. It's sad that the Holy Father had to show me that the hard way. Unfortunately, sometimes even the power has to be has to be brought to carpet. Well, I had to be brought to carpet, and I did it with humility. I had to be brought to carpet. I I remember feeling so good that I owned everything. I mean, I don't own a lot of everything. Don't get me wrong, but I owned what others would envy. I had what others would envy. Okay, and this shit came to me easy, easy. And then I lost everything. Then I lost everything again. But that second time that something happened, I realized God just didn't want me to have it. God made me see that as long as those people and those things are around you, you can't function as I want you to function with that power I have given you. Don't forget where this shit come from. So I need you like I need you. So I need you like I need you. Did I like it? Hell no. It's inhuman. It's inhumane. But the father gets what he wants. The father gets what he wants. Okay, let's get to the battle assessment. Well, we all knew that at the beginning of this, when I say we all knew, those who was listening and those who was keeping up for the past 5 years, I said that this shit would move slow, but we got this. I said that during a battle warfare is fought on 5 fronts. 5: spiritual, psychological, emotional, political, and if need be, physical. He who wins 3 out of 5 normally wins the war. If you win 3 out of the 5, it's almost impossible not for the fourth not to get in line, leaving you one. But we at that point. We have we have we have taken the psychological high ground. We have taken the spiritual high ground. We have taken the sociological high ground. Politically, 50-50. So we can't call that one yet. But like I said, he who wins 3 of the 5, generally speaking, will win the war, especially if the physical aspect of the war don't hurry up and take place to stop the gains made automatically by your enemy winning the first 3. The first 3 may look like things like sowing discord in the population, turning one against another. See what I'm saying? Creating scenarios in which they have to struggle and fight each other for resources, creating cliques and classes within society, leading to over time even more cracks in the armor. Where there is no glue, then there is no glue. America doesn't have a society anymore. What it has now is a geographical landmass with people who either don't want to be around each other, or they can't leave, or they don't like each other. The only people that's really here that is content, if not happy, are the migrants. And this has nothing to do with them. That just shows their lack of connection to what's been going on here over the last 25 years that has made us all act and feel like we do. And that's all it means. That's all it means. There's nothing anti-immigrant about it. This country was fucked long before they got here. Okay? Long before they got here. It was already fucked. So, to the physical aspect of it, the enemy now knows that we will do it. We will do it. He thought that we wouldn't do it. Even though he had been, I don't know why this is. When I say enemy, I mean spiritual enemy. We wrestle against spirits and principalities, not against flesh and blood. The enemy understood that we had the power to do it, but he counted on our compassion and sympathy and understanding to not want to do it, and our ability to be a caretaker and a love of man, not his enemy. So he counted on that. As long as we hide behind man, then he will not fire. They won't fire. Now they know better. Yes, we will fire. Yes, we will. I knew that it would get this way sooner or later. Sooner or later. And now we're here. Ain't no going back now either. The first salvos have been both struck and fired. Now they know. So where does things go from here? First, let's understand our enemy. Spiritually, his capabilities. What is the enemy capability? Well, you have a couple of enemies in the spiritual world. I want to talk, you got three. At least a good three. One of them ain't even supposed to be here, and the other ones should have just stayed dead. But that's neither here or there. There's three distinct enemies of mankind here. One of them ain't supposed to be here. They come from somewhere else, literally another planet, running from God's wrath. And they ran their asses here. But they can't run anymore either. There's nowhere else left to go. Nowhere else left to go. A planet was destroyed quite purposely by the Lord. The inhabitants of that species or that planet jettison their young into space. Some of them landed here. Now we got a problem with them. You've been had a problem with them. And they know, we know, they're there. We'll get to them later. In the midst of things. In the spiritual world, you have a problem. The devil uses, listen, spirits are nothing without bodies. The only thing a spirit knows is that it would love to experience life. And ain't but one way it can do it. And it does it. By the millions and millions and millions and millions. Not to be confused with demons. They starting to look like the spirits in our eyes, and the spirits are starting to look like the man, and the devil is starting to look like he's been hanging around man far too long. It's getting confusing, but that's because I expected so much more. I did. But that's neither here or there either. So in the spiritual world, they hate you. Not all of them. And then there's the other spiritual aspect of the world. There are two types of spirits, one that have form and one that don't. One's that could mean that just one is so damn powerful that it can present himself as a form when he's really not a form. Or it could mean that that power just comes built in, or it's a glitch. I'm not supposed to see it. All I can tell you is one is capable of making footprints and one is not. These are the two different sets of spirits in which you deal with. Okay? These are the two sets of spirits that you deal with. They manifest themselves in the world by utilizing human bodies. I said earlier that the devil gave it his best shot. I called it a infection because it is an infection. I related it to the alien species off of a long-running series called Star Trek called the Borg. It is an infestation, period. It is an infestation. One could think of it as a symbiotic relationship, or one can think of it as a more parasitic relationship, depending on how you want to look at it. It's one or the other. The point that I am trying to make is they shouldn't exist, and that makes man almost unjudgeable because he's not responsible for his actions if something lives inside of him that is forcing him or causing him or interfering with his choices, his his decisions. That is a problem. That is a problem right there. A huge problem. It is why America can't get anything straight anymore. I want you to understand something about all three of your enemies. Well, let's stick to those two because the third, that's a different one. It won't hold true. They have enough information from each human body to go about the machinations of that person's pattern and life. But it's not the real person. Okay? This is why no one can maintain any relationship. This is the reason why your sexuality has gone mad. This is the reason why everyone is hating everybody. This is the reason why everybody is standoffish if you're not of the infected. If you're not of them, they know that you're not of them. They can see. In the Bible, it would say that spirits have kindred spirits. A kindred spirit recognizes the other spirits, even if you don't. One spirit can invite in many spirits. One can bring in many. Now, with that being said, a lot of you send your children to universities, and you're proud of it. As well you should be. But just understand there are things there that when they leave the university, that they're bringing right back into your house. Okay? If your child has joined one of these organizations, trust me, they are worshiping a false gods, fallen angels, and they're full of spirits that they're going to bring right back in your house. It is designed to do this. It's by design because the rules are they just can't come into a family. They have to be invited in. It is your child that brought it to you. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Now you ain't gotta like this. You ain't gotta like it, but it's still gonna be the truth. Still gonna be the truth. Besides, it's too late for that. You're infected. You are infected. Very few are not. Very few are not infected. So, are we winning? Well, we're not really interested in winning as you would think winning is. We're not really interested in that. But by man's standard, yeah, we winning. You got him on his heels. He punch drunk. He's been hit too many times. He don't know what's going to happen next or what's the fight plan. I mean, he's watched the films over and over and over, but he just can't figure out the fight plan. What punch is coming next? But now he does know that yes, we will do what we said that we will do, which is hurt things on a mass scale. A mass scale. I've been saying for 5 months now, for the actions of one, I will harm many. So it didn't sneak up on you. You knew. And then you just keep doing it. But to be fair, we got a damn good feeling it ain't you doing it. At least half the time. It's that which lives within you that's doing it. This is why mercy is shown. If it wasn't for that fact, then this would be over. It's easy enough to kill a bunch of evil people. You just walk up and kill them. See? It's that easy. Shit. Like step one, step two, step three. That's not what kind of a party it is. That's not the party. Unfortunately. But for you, fortunately. So, are we winning? Sociologically, well, let's sort of get at 60%. But we started out at 30. See, I'm gonna tell you something. You're able to see what's happening in front of you. We have a we have a knack for wanting to see everything happening everywhere in real time. It changes everything to be able to look at the data in real time and to analyze it as it's happening and make decisions and make choices in real time. It's different. Big difference. We don't let it be misunderstood. We don't enjoy any of this. And don't look at it as revenge. It's not revenge. It's not revenge. It is my Father's word fulfilling itself. Like I said, there's no way out of it. Once something is spoken, it will be done. I'm not just saying that like the angels have all decided that, well, he said this and let's go do it. No, that's not how it works. Once he says it, it is. And there's no way out of it. No way. But revenge, nah. You're at war. And we had also already said from here on out, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and limb for limb. Here on out, it is the enemy who's not listening. So he forces our hand. So he forces our hand. Do we gloat over it? No, we're silent about it. Quite silent. Because we understand that we are dealing with mortal man. He'll be the end victim in this war between giants. I wish he wasn't here, but he is here. And he's in the way. Yes, he is. In the way of a huge battle. So amongst him will be casualties. Lots of casualties. It doesn't mean vengeance is being served. It means that he's in the way. And for anyone to say things like, hurricanes just never come in the mountains. This is abnormal. What? I don't understand. What about you is normal? What about your neighbors and the world around you is normal? You saying this, man, listen here, dude, be quiet. It's not normal. Listen, normal is gone. Normal is over. Normal is gone. Normal is over. It's been gone a minute now. A good minute. The devil should understand that we won't think twice from here on out. From here on out. So take heed, and mankind should listen so he should resist the temptation to do stupid shit on the devil's behalf or on the behalf of his own wicked ways. He should resist the urge. Everything will be answered to from here on out. That's sociologically. Psychologically, they bent. I mean, I would be accused of abuse if if this wasn't war. We have psychologically upended our enemy. Psychologically upended them. Okay? In other words, they scared. The soldiers of the enemy are not too sure about this fight anymore. Loyalty amongst the enemy ranks is depleting by the day. Morale amongst the enemy ranks is depleting by the day. He's losing fighters by the day. His would-be fighters won't sign up to the point that he has to draft them and make them fight. Well, yeah, I say we win in hands down psychologically. Politically, well, look at the other two. As the sociological and the psychological start to take its effect within the American population, then it will have its influence on the on the body politic. We, we win in 50-50. The rest we have to wait on further development to give you a real assessment of the political aspect of it. Have I left anything out? Battlefield, last one. The battlefield is everywhere, and the enemy bragged about that. He said the battlefield is all over the world. It's everywhere. He thought he had a winning plan. But then, over the last 5 years, he watched us raise an army, large battalions of believers in every freaking country he exists in, loud and ready to fight. Loud and ready to fight. So, we're winning there too. The battlefield favors us. Last but not least, the synagogue of Satan is ablaze. Synagogue of Satan is ablaze, and the head Satan trembles. The head Satan here on earth trembles and runs away, seeking shelter in the rocks, just like God said. He runs away seeking shelter in the rocks, down the marble hallways, the marble stairs, or left down the other marble hallway and into the bunker. The next day, as he speaks, his hand shakes. He trembles like a flower in the wind, like a butt-naked baby left in the breeze. He trembles. You can see the paperwork shaking as he read his notes. And I say unto him, welcome to the war. Now, sir, me and you have something in common. We both know how warfare feels. Now, you got skin in the game. I have to look at you differently now because you see yourself differently, don't you? Now you understand that you're not unreachable. Now you understand that you fear death. Same death that you ought to rain down on everyone else, you actually fear. You won't die a brave man. You won't die courageous. You won't die stoic. They won't find you with a battle rifle in your hand, taking your last bullets to the chest as you put up a valiant effort. No, we're not going to find this man doing any of those things. Nevertheless, he now knows war. And war changes a man. War changes a man. Well, whiskey do too. War, whiskey, drugs, all that you check, but women, but war is the best of all. Now, as he sits amongst the rocks and the cracks and the crevices that's built into the sides of hills and mountains and caves, what does he think about? As he can hear outside the screams of his citizens. What is he thinking as he's watching his citizens leave by airport and train, by the millions, afraid for their lives? What is he thinking? Will he want to retaliate? He's going to act like he really wants to, but deep down inside, he doesn't want anymore. He doesn't want anymore. I can see it in his eyes. He don't want no more. He doesn't want to die. He doesn't want history to write such a valiant story about him. He wants to disappear back into normalcy. But there's no more normalcy for Mr. Milikowski. Soaked in blood. So the next time he is outside or he's under attack by 400 missiles and drones that's lit the sky up red and burning the subdivisions and the neighborhoods and the military bases and the restaurants and the fancy villas, he should watch. Complete the deal. At least watch. Don't go see after it's done. Look at the damage. No, sir. Watch. You should be like a man and watch what you have brought upon your people and upon yourself. What do I expect out of a man such as Mr. Milikowski? I expect for him to go through the motions because politically he has to do what he's doing right now. They have to form a government. But upon his untimely death, under Israeli law, the government dissolves and someone else has to take center stage and become the new leader and then form another government with folks who they don't necessarily agree with or like Mr. Milikowski did. And look what it has cost him. Look what it has cost him. So he had dreams of another story. He would be the one in the history books that expanded Israel from the river to the sea and pushed the farmer inhabitants out and reclaimed the land that God gave them, even though he knows he's not a Jew. But that's okay. We're going to go with the party line, too. If he wants to continue calling themselves Jews, then allow them to continue to call themselves Jews. Just understand, we know who the real Jews are. Trust me. And what's happening to him now, if he is not careful, will increase by 10. Will increase by 10. We are witnessing the end of them. As a nation state, we are witnessing the end of them. I hate to be the one to tell you, are we still waiting on God's mighty hand to come and save Israel in the Middle East? Has he showed up yet? Because this would be a damn good time. But like I said, no God will come. We will burn the synagogue of Satan to the ground. You see? The ground. So while we let Mr. Milikowski contemplate his newfound warrior status, now you're a warrior. Now you're a warrior. You've been shot at and almost killed. You feel the shakes and the trembles. It's natural. It's normal. They'll pass. They usually pass. It's normal. Trust me. Been there, done that. But over time, you start to develop a thickness about yourself and a type of coldness about yourself. It don't mean that you're unloving. It is the proper response to being constantly surrounded by the possibility of death. That's all that is. I hope you get there. I pray that you get there. Because without that, life's going to be miserable. It's going to be miserable, man. As a warrior, you have to get that. You have to get comfortable with the fact that you could die at any moment and still not give a fuck. It's the only thing that the world respects out of a warrior. So good luck attaining that next level, sir. But clearly now you know you're in a fight. So when you get your appetite back, when you get your appetite back, eat a good one. It's, I love to say that it's not personal, but it actually is. It actually is. It is personal on so many levels. So at any rate, 40 minutes has passed, and I don't think I have cursed one time. I have resisted the anger. However, understand what I've said, a brief summary. We winning. The devil now understands that we will kill you, and we don't care about how many have to die. He understands that. Devil also understands he's overplayed his hands, and that we're winning on 4 on the of the five fronts. And there's nothing he can do about it. The only thing that he can further hope for is that we love mankind so that we don't want to get him caught up in the crossfire so much. Because at the end of the day, at the real end of the day, he never had a chance. Mankind ain't never had a chance. He was, it was over before he, whole thing, it was over before it started. However, Mr. Devil knows he's no longer dealing with mankind. He's dealing with us. He now deals with us. And we come equipped to deal with him. And there's nothing else left for us to do. Meaning, literally, God has made it as where there's nothing else for us left to do. Eat, sleep, be alone, focus on him, and then try to kill him. That's it. That's it. And now he in trouble. Finally, we arrive. Damn, finally. So, we're going to wrap this one up. My enemy, sleep well tonight. I will. Sleep well. Get ready for wintertime warfare. You know how we do it in the wintertime, so just get ready for that too. We shall be coming. Oh, spiritual world. Much respect. You did that. Now, can you do it 2 nights in a row? It's like I told you before, you ain't no enemy of mine. You're only here to be judged. That's your only reason. If the devil told you something else, he lied. You're only here to be judged. You ain't no enemy of mine. So don't make yourself an enemy of me. And shit will be fine. Enjoy the rest of your night. And Source and 7